Hi everyone, Maria with Keller Williams Realty, Team SP here. So today I wanted to cover basically how to find a great tenant and the importance of finding that really good tenant for your multifamily investment home properties that you are willing or looking to lease out. It is so crucial to find the right tenant. It will determine really the stability of that multifamily or that investment and how things will play out after that. So a couple points I wanted to do was how to find the good tenant. So people will ask me, well, what is it that you do to find that tenant? So really the first one is that we are going to cover is basically starting with the screening process. So screening our tenant is probably number one. How we screen this tenant is how we will process the entire application process. Basically, it starts with qualifying the tenant, making sure that we get one photo ID, 2 months pay stubs, 2 months bank statements, and a full application. So people tell me, why are you so crucial that you want things this way? So part of this process in the screening is it is so important paying attention to the details. How the tenant provides us that information, meaning do they give it to you scatterly, like one email, 2 emails? Do they package it all together for you? So really important that the package of this application and the tenant screening is given correctly. Blue or black ink, that determines a lot, I feel like, of the type of tenant we're gonna be dealing with. Were they professional enough to use black or blue ink to that detail? And of course, did they package this correctly? Did they put it all in the order we requested? Did it come with a letter asking, hey, this is who we are and we'd like you to know, so we know who they are. So that's kind of the first step of the tenant screening that we do when we process a potential tenant, which is really crucial to do so. At this point, once we have all these items, our second stage is really important, is the credit and background check. So credit and background check are very important. That's the second phase of the tenant screening process. We typically will request to be run through something called eSmartMove, My Smart Move, and this runs a credit background through TransUnion, one of the bureaus, and it also gives us a bankruptcy, a nationwide eviction check. It gives a credit score and credit history along with an income insight if available. So this information is pretty good, and that gives us a good determination of who we're dealing with. This is usually paid by the tenant themselves, and it's $40 per applicant. Every adult over the age of 18 should be filling out this application. Even though they may not be financially responsible, we want to know who is going to reside in this unit, right? So really important to keep that in mind. That is the second step to our process. The third step to our process is to start to currently cross-qualify the information. Meaning now we want to call all the resources listed in the application. We are calling the previous landlord, their current landlord. We are calling their employer for verification of employment. And we're also contacting the references that they've listed to hear a little bit about this character or this person or what they may or may not like. So we know a little bit more about them. So that's kind of the third stage of our verification process we do. Again, it would be calling the resources. One is for most important one is employment verification. And number 2 is personal references. And number 3 is current landlord and past landlord. We always want to call past landlords. Current one may always say something positive about them. They may want them on their way out for whatever reason. So that's kind of important. And so after this process is completed, we are typically looking at basically the last step of going to approve this potential tenant. So just so you know, there is no real other reason for you to turn down a tenant unless it is related to a financial circumstance. That is the only thing they may not qualify financially that you would be able to do. So when we give them the welcome or the denial, we let them know why, which would be for a financial reason. And that's usually where the next step will rely into going into contracts. So stay tuned for other videos to come, and we'll discuss the importance about having a clean contract between you as a landlord and your tenants. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.